Zootopia is a children's movie about Judy Hopps, a bunny from a small town of Bunnyboro, who wants to become a cop despite everyone telling her she can't. She reaches her goal and becomes a police officer in Zootopia. Zootopia is a big city where all animals live in harmony and everyone gets along. Judy soon realizes that there is a big divide between predator and prey. She takes on the task with an unlikely ally, a fox named Nick Wilde. The two go on a search in a buddy cop cartoon to find 14 missing predators. Zootopia won Best Animated Film from the American Film Association, along with 41 other awards. The popular film made $75,063,401 opening weekend. Through the film, the two run into multiple instances of othering, meaning that instead of being inside the group and fitting into the status quo, they are both outsiders. We see othering in both interpersonal racism and institutional racism throughout the film between the species living in Zootopia. The first code is a biological racism, blaming someone's actions on their biology. Animals in the movie with these beliefs about species different from themselves lead to examples of interpersonal racism. Race 4 defines interpersonal racism as biases that occur when individuals interact with others and their private racial beliefs affect their public interactions. In the film, Judy and her family are saying goodbye at the train station. Before letting their daughter go, her parents give her a care package. All of the items in the bag are things to keep foxes away. Her mother blames it on their biology. Judy debunks this idea by saying,
Gideon Gray was a jerk who happened to be a fox. I know plenty of bunnies who are jerks.
However, she leaves for Zootopia with fox repellent anyway. Although we hear Judy telling her parents that not all foxes are bad, we definitely see certain biases when she interacts with Nick the fox. A major example of interpersonal racism is in the clip when Judy speaks at the press conference after finding the 14 missing predators.
It may have something to do with biology. You know, something in their DNA. What I mean is, thousands of years ago, predators survived through their aggressive hunting instincts. For whatever reason, they seem to be reverting back to their primitive savage ways.
The press conference reflects the underlying bias Judy has towards predators. This comes as a result of her background and upbringing as a rabbit, distrusting and afraid of predators. After the conference, Judy goes to Nick, all excited, and quickly realizes she has said something wrong.
Clearly there's a biological component? These predators may be reverting back to their primitive, savage ways? Are you serious?
The us versus them theory leads us into our next code, predator versus prey. Although the prey are the majority of the population, they fear the predators. Most predators in the movie are typically bigger and stronger than prey. The fear creates a distinct separation between the two during the entirety of the film. We first see this when Judy was 9 and had a run-in with Gideon the fox.
I want you to remember this moment the next time you think you will ever be anything more than just a stupid carrot-farming dumb bunny.
This othering supports an us versus them mentality that puts both sides against each other based on general racial expectations. Although we do see a few times throughout the film predators asserting their physical dominance over prey, the vast majority of discrimination is the prey asserting their superiority against the predators. An example of this would be the elephant not Nick buy ice cream from his shop.
Oh, come on, kid, back up. Listen, buddy, what? There aren't any Fox ice cream joints in your part of town? Probably can't read Fox, but the sign says, "We reserve the right to refuse service."
We also see this othering in an us versus them situation when the prey would not allow Nick, a predator, to become a scout.
Proud.
Even though you're a fox? No! No! What did I do wrong, you guys? No! Please tell me, what did I do wrong? What did I do? No!
In the movie Zootopia, the language of the characters is sometimes racially coded. There are several parts in the film where the language alludes to having a connection with racism, specifically the idea of othering.
You can't just touch a sheep's wool.
It's like cotton candy.
Stop it.
By playing in the sheep's hair and comparing it to cotton candy, he's defying her as other. The animals also have lines in the movie that relate to racial interactions in the contemporary United States.
A bunny can call another bunny cute, but when other animals do it, it's a little...
I am so sorry.
Because this is a kids' movie, they cannot actually use a racial word, but the context surrounding the situation alludes to what is going on there. Collins calls this either-or dichotomous thinking. This type of thinking categorizes people, things, and ideas in terms of their difference from one another, and fosters radicalized interactions. So far, our three codes have fallen under interpersonal racism. Institutional racism occurs in systems of power with unfair policies and discriminatory practices. Before the Mammal Inclusion Act, no small prey had ever been a cop. Had it not been for this policy, Judy would not have been able to get her job as a police officer. The Mammal Inclusion Initiative, in this case, represents affirmative action. This shows that prey are excluded from certain jobs and need policies for equal opportunities. This policy helped Judy keep her job. During the movie, our first bunny cop is said several times. Although the Mammal Inclusion Act is a good thing, this is an example of othering because they are singling her out by her own species. Although the movie does a good job pointing out instances of racism, they do not provide a solution for the larger systemic issue. Instead, they threw the mayor and the assistant mayor in jail. Because we know that racism is ingrained into society, we know that throwing the villains in jail is only a temporary solution. Drew argues in Pretending to be Post-Racial that we can get past this idea of othering in the state of needing survival. Overall, the meaning of the movie was to present racism, prejudice, and the effects it has on society through the idea of otherness and us versus them society. Through the codes of the movie, we find examples of interpersonal and institutional racism. These examples resemble similar ideas that we see in contemporary United States.